groom a dog with me. So this is Charlie. She's an older gal, and I like to wet her down a little bit, get the shampoo on her. Now, because she is an older dog, I don't like to do a whole lot of back and forth with her. Meaning, I don't want to put her on the table, take her off the table, and having to do that over and over again. So, I don't do any prep work on her. She's usually in really good shape. She comes in every 4 weeks. This visit has gone almost 2 because of the holidays and travel and everything. So, she's extra long in comparison to what she normally is. The shampoo I'm using right now is Dog Fashion and Primo Stella, which is a clarifying shampoo. I'm using this on her because she has gone 8 weeks without coming to see me. I want to make sure that she is nice and clean. And you want to make sure that after using a clarifying. So now I'm getting ready to dry her. She's been under the towel for a long time, so now she has like lots of dry spots, and that's okay. But it might get a little loud. Let's find out. The dryer I use at home is a Flying Pig Pro Grooming Dryer. It has heat function and variable speed. Typically I use it on heat 1 just to give it a little bit of dry. If I put it on 2, it'll dry the skin out a little too much. Alright, let's do it to it. Really fuzzy if I try to pull it in here, I'm doing here is I'm blocking your ear canal so the air doesn't go in. It actually reduces her freak out when it comes to the bed. Okay, so I'm grooming from home, right? I don't have all the tools that I need here. But what you would need is a pair of clippers, blades. Ideally, if you want to keep a short maintenance utility type of cut, you would have a 4-blade, 5-blade, 30-blade, 10-blade. 10-blade is for cleaning up potty areas, 30-blade for cleaning out the paw pads. If you are scared, don't want to use the 30, you're scared you're going to do some scraping or anything, you can use the 10. Just mind you, it can still happen. It all depends on you and how firm you are putting pressure on the skin. This dog in particular, I will be using a 4-blade. She gets a 4 on her body, and she will get an O comb on her head, or the yellow comb, and I will use my 30-blade underneath that, and then a 10 in her sanitary areas. And on the inside of her ears, under here, and out into the ear as well, to clean it up and make sure it's really nice and breathable. She just left me, so she's back. She's back. You smell so good. You smell so good. Oh. The shampoo that I just used, the Primo Stella by Dog Fashion. Their clarifying shampoo smells amazing. It's like sunflowers. Are you ready for your haircut? Are you ready? And now we begin. She's hooked up. She ain't going nowhere. Happy. And now I can start shaving her. I like to make nice, long, even strokes. Now, I will say this is not my normal clipper, so it does not work the best that it can. I will have to do a lot of back brushing, and she'll probably get maybe 2 passes with these clippers. These are not a cheap pair of clippers, but they're no Heiniger. I'm pretty sure, yep, it is. Her hair is getting stuck in my blade because I don't make her sit and dry for 15 years. So she's bone dry. She's still a little damp. this is how I groom dogs on the floor. Sorry. Okay, changing blade. 2:30. Now I will shave her paw pads, reveal her little baby teddy bear and her feet. Now I like to actually use a trimmer as opposed to clippers in this area because it's just a little bit cleaner. 'Tis time for finishing. Ready? All right, let's back up. Let's back up a little bit. So finishing work. It is all scissoring now to get any crazy hairs, make things look how they're supposed to. One important thing I'll tell you, that if you are grooming from home and you are not completely sure of what you're doing, these are our scissors, okay? Ring finger in the hole, pinky on the anchor, and our index and middle finger are our support, okay? That is our true anchor and where most of the weight of our scissors fall. We don't want to be gripping really, really tight, okay? They're just sitting in there. And if you're not working with really, really, really bad coats, it should go right through, okay? This is enough. Now, only our thumbs move. So, our wrist is straight. We don't want to do things like this and like this. We lose control of our shears and we end up like, we can cut dogs this way. Like, and actually, if you watch, even though I'm only moving my thumb, it looks like, and it's almost forced, that the rest of my hand is moving too. I can, if I do it real slow and really concentrate, it's still not working. So, just our thumb, okay? And we're not sticking our thumb all the way through like that. That's crazy. Just a touch, okay? Let the top of your thumb put it up, bottom of your thumb push it down. Miss Ma'am, come here. Come on. Let's finish. Let's finish. Next. Right. You all, am I all up in? I sure am. Look how crazy my wrist looks right now because look what I'm trying to do because I'm on the floor. So I have to keep in mind that I follow my own rules. But will I? Probably no. Probably no. I've been doing this for so long. And it actually wasn't until like the last couple years that I started paying a little bit more attention to the placement of my wrists and my hands because I always thought that I needed to be able to do anything and everything and be able to scissor from any angle and direction. Not totally true. Now, in this little tuck up area here, she's got a lot of skin, right? See that? Probably can't really see it. But she's got a lot of skin right here. I try not to use clippers going into this area because if you use your clippers and go in, you see this, that's kind of what the teeth would do. Pull and snag this and cut it, and we don't want that. So, what I do is I'll scissor towards the opposite leg. So I'm pointing the end of my shears away from the skin. Oh, also off camera, Dad messaged and said to take her ears down. So I did not take them down. I took them up and I just rounded them at the leather. instead of shaving them. She did have some matting in her ears, enough so that it needed to be cut out and not brushed through, because the leather of the ears is very sensitive. Okay, if we brush on it for too long, comb on it for too long, cut through it for too long, you end up getting like a splitting at the end of the leather. We don't want that. We want them to be not hateful of the things that we're doing. That would be something that would be considered good judgment. There are a lot of groomers out there that will do what they can to get the matting out, to preserve as much hair as possible. For me, that was this method of taking her ears up instead of down, meaning I wouldn't have shaved down her ear. I just took up the length to cut the mats out because all of her little knots and stuff were along the leather of her ear. All right, let's turn around, please, so I can get the other side. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so just like the tuck up in here in the elbow area, underneath the armpit, in the armpit. Anyway, in the armpit, we have another sensitive area and an area that has a lot of like extra loose skin and stuff. And we're not wanting to get into that. We want to leave that alone. A semi-better view? I guess so. We're going to have to make it work because I'm on the floor. Because Miss Man don't like the table. So, I'm not going to force her to be on the table. And then us having to have an argument about, I don't know, not trying to walk off my table. Because that's what she'll do. We don't want that. We don't want that. I don't want to push her boundaries or push past her capacity. Hold on, baby. I know. You're done with me. It's okay. It's okay. We'll get you home real quick. Dad lives behind us. You live behind my house. Mm-hmm. Almost done, almost done, almost done. Okay. Again, I'm going to cut towards the opposite leg so that I am not in the danger zone of pinching her with the ends of my scissors. We don't need any business like that. We want to be nice and safe. Am I in the way? I need to be more cognizant of where this is. Oh my goodness. Oh, also while off camera, I'm smelling stuff back here, so I'm assuming that she already has the starts of a UTI. Fun fact, when dogs get, or I will not say dogs, when female dogs get fixed too soon in their life, it doesn't, and they don't go into a heat. What happens is this doesn't drop. So what happens is it stays tucked up in here, lots of foldings around the skin, right around the skin of the tootie, and they're more likely to get UTIs and other types of infections, yeast infections, all that fun stuff, because it's not able to breathe. It's not able to come out. So they have a heat that comes out, less likely to have issues in that area. Okay. Time to finish her face. Okay, so now we're gonna do her head. On my O-comb, yellow. O0 yellow. The length on it is a 5/8 of an inch comb. Dad likes her head to be on the tighter side. It's cleaner, works for them, and their lifestyle. She has a very, what I would call a utility type cut. Short body, short face. You can still tell that she is an old English sheepdog. Okay. You're doing the thing where you're pushing towards me again. I would appreciate if you backed up just a little bit. Give me some breathing room, Miss Ma'am. I just saw a hair, so I'm cleaning it. Yeah, give me some breathing room, ma'am. Ma'am. She's a lovely dog. Again, she's really old, so I don't want to push her on things. But I also have to accept my boundaries and not let her do things that she believes will stop me from doing work as well. Because a lot of dogs do that, okay? Puppies use play as a deterrent for the grooming process. By play, to us it looks like play or being goofy, flipping over on the table, doing little puppy nips, things like that. Old dogs lay down a lot, and it's mostly because they're tired, but sometimes they know that it gives them a break, so they will use that to get their break. So there's like a really fine line. Do we speed it up because we want to make sure that the dog is not here for too long? Or do we slow down to not amp them up too much because we're trying to get them in and out? There are shops that have no options and they just do the dog straight through. Then there's other shops that offer services or extra services, like if a dog is sedated, the requirement is that they be an express, because we don't know how long the sedation will last between adrenaline and what time did they get it and all that stuff. There's a lot of factors. So there'll be an extra charge for a medical express or a standard express where the owner just wants their dog done faster. But when they want the dog done faster, that puts a weird pressure on groomers because we know the dog is a little weird and needs more time, needs us to slow down, not speed up. So it's a weird fine line, and you have to make sure that you communicate with your clients about that kind of stuff. For her, I have to take it extra slow. She's been here since 10 o'clock. It is now, my watch is dead. Who knows what time it is? Alexa, what time is it?
The current time is 12:48 p.m.
Almost 3 hours she's been here. But she has been acting the same the whole time she's been here. Just kind of done with me. Just kind of done with me. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. Now, remember I said that I'm not fully prepared? I don't have a comb. I don't have a comb. So I'm having to do her all with this brush. And not even a very good brush. She used to be my bath brush. Maybe I should stock up on some things here. Now that I think on it. How am I supposed to share all of my knowledge with you if I don't even have all the things that I need to talk to you about? But a fine-tooth metal comb, perfect tool for helping you with brushing. And I know that there are a lot of groomers out there that believe owners are brushing their dogs with spoons. Because why didn't you get that knot out? You told me you brushed it every day. But what's happening is you're really brushing the surface. You're not getting down to the skin. And there's again, pros and cons with that. Owners, okay, hello? Owners that brush their dogs and they know they have to get down to the skin, they'll brush too much. And then we got brush burn. And then we got scabs or open wounds. And that's not what we want. We don't want them to get messed up just from maintenance, you know?
So, good rule of thumb, good solid brushing, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Check. Take your comb and check. If you are not getting through that thing after brushing and combing, it's probably time to seek some help. And it's okay. You know, a lot of people won't go to the groomer because it costs too much money. Or they have my dog for too long. Or I'm scared they're going to hurt my dog. I'm not going to hurt your dog. If you encounter a groomer that hurts your dog, either they're crazy if it was real, right? Or it really couldn't be helped, especially when you're bringing a matted dog in. That's why it's so important for us to have things in place like our dematting forms, right? It's an insurance for us because we need an agreeance, okay, that you know and you understand, agreeance, acknowledgement, that you understand the realities of having to demat a dog. Even if we're just shaving it down, there could be spots under that mat where it is pulling the skin so much tighter than other parts of that same mat, and it can lift the skin up into the blade. That is not something that we can help. We can take every precaution possible, and sometimes it still just happens. And it's really unfortunate that dogs even get into the condition that we have to fear for that. You know, our winter warriors that come in, come spring, didn't get a haircut from October until March. That's a long time for a dog to go without seeing a groomer. A groomer. Not being groomed, but seeing a groomer. Somebody who is actually supposed to do this job. We want the best for your animals. Groomers want the best for your animals. We wouldn't get into this job if we did not want the best for them. It's the same thing as vets. Vets just take care of you internally. It's really important. A little short. Very bobby. She's got a bob. All done? Are we all done? You may leave. Go. You may leave. Go, go, go. You're free! You're free! Cool. Let's go right on the other side of you. Is that kitty? Did you see the kitty? Now I'm all hairy and I gotta go cleaned up now. Bye!